One, bing, and we're live, and it's the Kent Beck, not Martin Fowler. It's Kent Beck, Scrum. So far we've got Sam and Lara. Yes, and well, I think Ashley is going to join us. She's got some insights into Agile Ventures she wants to talk about. I think, well, we'll see if Michael joins. He's been a bit under the weather. But yes, so things for me today. The main thing I've done is I've done this dry run of a Agile project management workshop with the volunteer folks up the road. Oh, hello, Ashley.
Morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Hey, Ashley.
Caffeinated.
Yay, caffeine. Yes, have I had too much or too little? Yeah, so we've just started. I kind of pressed record. I have just done an Agile project management workshop for the voluntary centre up the road, or this is a dry run of a bigger one. I'm going to do it in a couple of weeks. That took longer than expected, but it seemed to go reasonably well. That has been the main focus of my day. I was preparing for the local support client meeting, and I kind of got various things done there and sort of cleaning up. But then actually, since that meeting took so long, we didn't have time to do that. And I've come back and sat down and just been catching up with helping the Redeemify people with their voting and checking in with our sponsor and sort of station keeping. And yeah, I've got the the main block really is just, would love to be able to throw more resources at the website one in order to improve everything. And the main action I think now is we're going to talk to Ashley about some of the design and some of the Agile Venture stuff. And then I've got the Spock instructors auto graders meeting coming up in about an hour and a quarter. So I'm not sure there's going to be much time for programming today, but there we go. That's me. Lara, how are things going with you?
Okay, I've had a good day. I had a pairing session with Patrick where he just had put a bit of a structure together for me for the testing on Jasmine, which helped a lot.
Right.
And then this afternoon I've just been working on the SEO on the static pages for local support.
Great. Wonderful. So no strong blocks then at the moment?
No blockers, no.
Great. Fantastic. Thanks, Lara. Let's go on to Ashley. How are things with you?
Pretty good. I think that, well, I've been focusing mostly on the SHF project, and I think there was good progress made in reviewing the project tasks and refining and tightening it up for the next MVP. And then I started working with Susanna on one of the next main tasks, which is uploading, users being able to upload multiple documents. So that's really good. And then so far as Agile Ventures, mostly I've been thinking about the content. And so that's been percolating in my head. So no blockers, except for not quite enough neurons always working.
Indeed, a common travail.
That's right. It's a different technology. So
yes. Well, great. Yeah, let's have a more of a discussion at the end of the Scrum about some of those things passing through those neurons. Michael is also with us. Michael, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Are you feeling a bit better than yesterday?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yes. Anything to report?
No.
That's you're a wonderful Scrum participant because you take up you only tell us about the really important things. So I think that's actually our Scrum, unless there's any other important business to surface. Yeah, so we can go into Ashley. So saying you've been involved in the SHF project. You've come in not from the MOOC, but I hear from. I think you met Brian G in the Ruby Slack or something, and you found out about Agile Ventures, and so you're coming in with a different perspective than many people coming in. And
right.
Yes, you were having some thoughts. So we've got some time now. Please share.
So I think that really what I see mostly on the Agile Ventures site and the information and working on projects is there's some content grooming that really needs to happen. I think obviously there's lots of great ideas, and I certainly have many about how to restructure things or have this view and all of that, but it's getting the right content in the right places for the right users.
Sure.
And then what I've learned in participating a bit is, and looking around, that I think there's probably, 85% of the content is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's now a matter of reorganizing and tightening up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, in the right places for the right people. So as you've been, I see that you've been asking and soliciting information about getting started on projects, joining a project. What is the right information? I know that you've been putting that together and working on that. So I think that's the focus. One example that has been on my mind for last day or two is, for example, in Slack, there are 89 channels. And so no one's going to come in and look at every single channel. And as somebody new to Agile Ventures, whether they come for the MOOC or wherever they come from, people aren't going to understand what each of those channels is for. So guiding people to the main ones, and then giving them a way to find out how to explore and how to find out about other channels that may be of interest, whether they're project specific or whatever. So I'd be interested in hearing other people's thoughts. Laura, you've been involved for a while, and Michael, I don't know.
He's been involved forever, so.
All right.
He's part of the furniture.
Ouch.
But really comfortable.
Before there was an AV.
Yeah, before there was AV. When there was only local support.
When there was only A?
When there was only local support, there was one project. There wasn't a collection of projects. There was a single project, and there was Michael. In the beginning, there was Michael, and after Michael came Light and other things. But yes, I'd love to hear. Should we start with Lara? Any thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, I think I'll have to actually think about it. I do agree with Ashley that a better understanding, or a better, like we discussed in our other Scrum meeting today, was just maybe the directing people to the right places when they sign up is a good thing, because there is a lot going on the Agile Ventures site. So
right.
Yeah, I think I'll think a bit more on it over the weekend. Maybe just look around the site and just take it from there.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable. And Lara was referring there to the earlier Scrum today. We were having a discussion, I think, about particularly how people actually. This is sort of the point after they had actually found a project channel. Then kind of like what's the next set of things that they would do? That was the discussion we were having in the previous.
So since we changed to Slack in 2014 or whatever, we're inviting people, from what I understand, when they sign up on website 1, right? Are they automatically subscribed to some channel? Like, is there?
There are a set of channels that they're subscribed people. So we automatically invite people, although I'm not sure that it always works, or maybe it's spam filters or whatever, when they sign up to av.org. Yeah, previously we were using Skype, and then we had to people had to be explicitly added. Those channels they automatically get added to general, tech talk, and random.
Yeah.
And I try and greet them, and I send them messages that look, as you've already all seen, that have evolved, and they look like this. I'm particularly interested actually to see that Code Buddies, which is another interesting organization, is that these guys, that you get, oh, it's disappeared now. There's like an automated message that tells you a lot of what to do and where to go and so
Right.
on. But anyway, yes. So, but sorry, Michael, you had the floor. Yeah, this is what they kind of get when they arrive, and of course, this may take like me a day or two before I actually send that. So, they may just arrive in these channels and I'm like, whoop.
So, can we have a bot greet them?
Yeah.
A bot create the messages. We could indeed have a bot. So, could a bot do a welcome message? Is that what you're thinking?
Right.
Yes.
And then have the bot say, if you want to talk to a human, message Tansaku because
he's always available and he never sleeps. Right.
Right. Give general welcomes.
Yeah, and sort of we can provide them. I mean, there's this balance, isn't there, in terms of the amount of text so that it's readable, but then it also has some links to, if you want to know more about doing this, then go and read this other documents and so on and so on.
Right. It's that here's how to get started,
right.
and here's where to learn more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both of those.
Yeah, we can provide links to the website, wikis or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what happens when you sign up.
Uh-huh.
And after you've signed up and it's accepted you.
Yes.
Where do we land? What page do we land on?
When you go to if you sign up in the Agile Ventures website, I think it lands you on the front page, to be honest.
Right. And so
it lands like it's you when you do the sign up. So where do you land after sign up? So the things that happen are you get sent a welcome email, which does also which is actually kind of long and has quite a lot of stuff in it.
Right.
But I don't know how people actually read that. Then it's supposed to send the Slack invite, which doesn't always get through. And then also I think you just land on a homepage. And I think that it pops up a banner asking you to fill in your profile details.
Right. And that was my experience. That's what I got.
Right. Yeah.
And that all worked fine for me. But it's just right, as you guys has touched on, then what?
Yeah, totally. And I think it's I mean, just to add my thing, I think you're absolutely right, Ashley. And I think you surfaced before about the whole site that we don't really have a funnel towards getting people to sign up, and we don't really have, once they've signed up, what do you do? I mean, there's things like there's a getting started page and so on, what have you, but it's all a bit relying upon chance that people happen to go to the right places, and it's not kind of guide. I think people come in and they don't necessarily understand what we're offering. They don't understand how to get started. They've got busy lives. We kind of want to guide them in a friendly way so that they get, they're able to have a small positive interaction with the community, and hopefully that will lead to other small positive interactions with the communities, depending on how they want to proceed.
If this was a big corporation with a budget,
yes,
what you do, you'd gather your data, you look at your logs,
yes,
see where people are coming in, what pages, where they're falling off,
yes,
do some A/B testing, and you could even do some stuff in Slack and say, how often do people ask a question with, how do I blank, 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 or where is blank, blank, blank?
And then create a FAQ and even have a bot.
Right, doing some kind of information audit,
yeah.
essentially. But like I said, in raising my questions and seeing how this all is working in the last week or two, I think most people know that, and I think the new people joining, you've encouraged them to ask. So I think we can all figure out pretty much where the holes are, and much of the content already exists. So that's terrific.
Yeah. And I think maybe even an FAQ section,
Yes.
just, you know, even if it links back to your blog in terms of
Yes.
just, if I'm thinking about async voter,
Yes.
it's quick.
Right.
Instead of you having to go search for it, paste it.
Sure. Yes, good, excellent suggestions. Yes, I mean we do occasionally, Michael and I, we do look at the logs and the analytics and so on, and yes, we just have like in terms of the, I mean, for better or for worse, we used to have a lot of people working on the, so the WSO, had Thomas as project manager, and he had 20 plus different people over 2 years working on the site.
Yeah.
I was the kind of customer, so to speak, and was sort of trying to say, well, I want this, but I was also I was trying to channel the many desires of the different users. And it's we're in this situation now where, so now I'm co PM with Raoul, and we also made website one a priority project. My feeling had been that there have been so many different people working on it, it had sort of been treated, and Thomas and I discussed this, ultimately as a learning project. So Thomas was kind of leaning on the side of, I want to accept what people are submitting, even if the code quality or the, even if it doesn't fit in with the bigger design necessarily, because he just didn't want to turn anybody away. And I think we ended up with a kind of a mixture of styles. Thomas was also going for, he wanted it to be a one-stop shop for project organization and like have everything work and so on. And so my reaction to that when I sort of became project manager for it was say, like, this is a priority project. So, and I said, only premium members can work on it. I mean, and we made some exceptions, but in an attempt to kind of try and control the Wild West aspect of it. And so over the last 8-9 months, Michael and I have been the key ones working on it, with a few other people occasionally contributing, and we've kind of been trying to kind of round off rough edges. And my particular focus has been on the sponsors and the premiums in order to get some kind of basic business model in place. But yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of, like, I would love to, I mean, and maybe the thing now should be to sort of drop that and focus on this kind of the funnel thing and getting people in and onboarded smoothly. Yeah, I'd love to throw more resources at this.
My thought along those lines is, if you and Michael and Thomas, whoever the business stakeholders are in this, it's really, you need to spend a little bit of time, and I don't think it's much, frankly, and just come to some agreement on, this is what we want to, this is our model for premium users. This is how we want to guide people, funnel people who are new to the site, so that they know about the membership and they understand what that is. And then this is how we want to guide people for understanding all the projects and how to get involved in a project. I think if you guys have some, basic agreement about those, that's the first step. And then the content wrangling, I think, can be delegated. That's something that I can work on. You'd want some people who are new, so we have their perspective, 1 or 2 other people. And I think you can make a lot of progress just doing a little bit of content wrangling once there's a clear picture.
Indeed. I guess I'll say that, I mean, Thomas is, so his primary focus is now Craft Academy. And so he maintains an active interest in the site, but he's not, and I guess,
you all can figure out who the right stakeholders are to be involved.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and what I'd say, but yeah, I would say, like, so this getting started page, Ashley, you can go and edit that if you want.
Right. And I think,
go on.
Well, and I think that a little bit of planning and guidance is important so that it's not all Wild West stuff.
Right. So before that you did something to it. Fair enough. Yes. And so I guess what you're saying there is there's a need for a high level vision that describes what the site's trying to achieve.
Yeah, just like, it's the exact same stuff that you do in any kind of project, except for, the implementation is writing for humans, not writing code.
Mm-hmm.
But all the same stuff applies. We have to agree on the user story.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what's the project
Mm-hmm.
focus? What do you all think, Laura and Sam? Michael, I've been doing a lot of talking.
That's good. I think there's a lot to think about here. So
yeah, I've been thinking about this. So
Michael, any thoughts?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I think I'm in agreement about what we need to do. I mean, I guess what we do have is we have all of these, sort of descriptions about
right, great.
This, that, and the other. Although they're too wordy. Yes, I mean, I guess that there's the thing that I'm starting to do is to try and shift onto the away from, we've been like working a lot on the events thing, to shift onto the projects, so on. I guess I'm in terms of then action items, like I think I certainly wouldn't contest that. I think that anybody coming into the site at the moment is going to be confused. I think that's like a perfectly natural response to the current what have you. I guess are you suggesting there, Ashley, you're saying like create high level user stories for the main site?
Yeah, and I'm not, I like I said, I'm not trying to make this whole new project and time suck.
No, sure.
But yeah, a little sketch those out so that then people can come in and do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I think that a lot of new people who come in are interested in contributing, and people like me and in Slack are totally willing to come and say, hey, this was my experience as a new person, and can we write this? Or
yes, and I'd love to get your help on all of those things. I guess what we have is, I mean, Website 1 was all created with high-level stories that were in the original Pivotal Tracker and now exist to a certain extent, but spread through the Cucumber features of the Website 1 project. But that's maybe not very accessible. It's like looking through these different feature files is not a good way of understanding how the content might need to develop in the site, right?
Right. You need the high level, just project description. That one page.
Yeah, we've kind of maybe somewhere along the line we've lost the high level picture that kind of serves as the unifying set thing for what the Agile Ventures site is.
Right, you're on the next iteration of it, so it's time to.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, almost we need to kind of stories, or it's like I don't know if the domain model is right, but it's kind of it's yeah. I can see writing in terms of like how will Agile Ventures the site, help people get involved, and derive value from the whole thing.
Yeah. So for action items, I could put together the skeleton of that, what I think of that,
Mm-hmm.
so that you and whatever other stakeholders can kind of just, fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
If that would be helpful, I can do that.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Please do. I think that that would be helpful. Yeah, I mean, I would. We keep on thinking of too many specifics. It's like, so for example, when people do first sign in, if that thing, rather than just encouraging them to fill out their profile, was talking to them about, in terms of the things like the stuff that I've been kind of doing proof of concept on here, in terms of joining a project, like if the first kind of little thing was just saying like, how much time do you have? Do you have this much time? And then even like, here are some of the things you could do, and then maybe you just click through and it will take you to the place where you need to start doing them, and those kind of things. But I guess rather than firing off on that willy-nilly, like if there's a coherent high-level thing about that that includes, people getting involved in projects, people who want to start projects, premiums, what have you, then that makes it easier to make the whole thing coherent.
Right. And as developers, right, we're all pulled to work on what's much more interesting to us, but yeah, a little time on the higher level stuff is needed.
Sure. Good stuff.
I have to run. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No problem, Laura. I was going to say, I think we all, it's time to wrap up, perhaps. And well, Laura, we'll have a great weekend and see you next week.
Cool. Cheers. Bye, Ashley. Cheers, Michael.
Bye.
Yes. And so, Ashley, great brain dump. Anything else that you wanted to share? No,
I think everybody gets it.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can maybe take. We'll turn that around. Good show. Well, I've got sure another meeting in 50 minutes. If there's nothing else we need to sort out, I don't know. I wonder, Michael, are you interested in working on this now, or you'd like to try and get a coding done? What are your thoughts?
Where are we at with the upgrade thing for Laura?
Where we are with
and
the
I know
upgrade.
her immediate issue is solved, but
Yeah, her immediate issue is solved. We encountered another bug, which I also fixed, and yeah, where we are is that we don't really have a good representation of her status in the system, although she is now correctly assigned as a premium mob user.
Because she should have, she has sponsorship, right?
She has sponsorship,
but we don't yet have like a coherent representation of how
we don't have a way at the moment of representing
sponsorship affects basically reduces the price, right?
Yeah, we don't have a model where you can be sponsoring somebody at one level and then they receive a reduction in their cost of the other thing for that. I mean, I think in the first instance here with Lara, there's in order to fix another bug, I actually had to cancel the subscription, and basically I can just restart her at the actual payments at precisely the right time in January in order for it to work. But it's so I think she's kind of okay and she's getting what she needs and so on, but we will need to build out the domain model to sort of handle these situations properly in future so that it is slightly less messy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean we could have a look through the board, but yeah, do you want to work on high level stories, Michael, or would you rather work on bits of code?
Maybe we can work on high level stories if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just take I will take a quick break, and then I will create another hangout and maybe see some of you there.
So then my question is, if I write something up, where should I put it? And if where can we work to gather these high level stories? Should we just one and tag it with content?
I would have thought that, can we put it in Agile Ventures? And I mean, there's kind of like a features thing here, which John originally, I think kind of tried to create something about this in the past. So like, we've got a new developer looking to get started, and he's like trying to come in from the top level. You may not want to use.
You're not sharing your screen.
Am I not? Oh, sorry. Okay. Awareness of screen sharing.
But we could see that you were enraptured.
Right.
Well, I usually am. But Agile Ventures thing, there's a features directory which has this that John contributed.
Perfect.
In 2013. You might not necessarily want to use Cucumber or these files or what have you, but I think this is
The
like,
concept.
yeah, we should kind of. This seems like a good place. Like like anything we put in the website one repository or whatever, kind of, I don't know. It's sort of this is sort of specifically designed to be the very, very high level discussion of the whole enterprise, so to speak. So yeah. And so do you have access to this repository?
I know that I can see it.
Yeah.
And so is there any kind of pivotal tracker or waffle or any kind of tool for?
We just have the issues on here at the moment. We could set up a waffle.
I really like waffle better, but I don't.
Yeah, I prefer waffle myself. Yeah, so there can be a waffle of that. I thought in the first instance you were just going to add some content. If you need a waffle, it can certainly be set up. I was in the first instance, of course, you should be able to pull requests to this, but potentially I can add you to a team that has access to this, so you can just do some writing in there.
We'll start there, and if we need to add in that other tool, we will. But that's my question. Where do I put that? Great. Yeah.
So definitely Agile Ventures. I think is you're hitting the high level, and that's the high level site. So
perfect.
There we go. Cool. Right. And I guess if you're going to do a skeleton, then maybe we'll see what Michael and I do in the next session anyway. But yeah, quick break. Greetings to our viewers. Do come and see us at agileVentures.org. Get a free invite to our Slack and find out more about what it is we do. Good stuff. Thanks for your input, Ashley. Very much appreciated. And see you both soon.
Great. Thank you both.
Bye for now.